Everybody, a new vlog as we are at Benson Farms this morning getting ready for the WTT Halloween event that we're having from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. It's a Friday and we just loaded up with some pumpkins. The farm animals are hanging out. Let me turn the camera around. I don't know if you can see the goats over there. Yeah, they're just hanging out, doing their thing. We just went and got a bunch of pumpkins. You can see them in the mirror right there. We just loaded up. I think we got maybe close to 20 of them in the back of the van at the moment. So let's get ready to go back to, well, we're going over to Dixon and got to pick up some equipment for a football game later on, and then we're going back to the studio. All right, I'm on the road going to Fort Campbell right now, getting ready for a football game. Had to change things up a little bit here today. Was supposed to go down to Murray for a high school football game, but instead my play-by-play guy for Webster County is sick. So I had to go and grab the equipment, and now I'm on my way to Fort Campbell, getting ready for the Webster County Trojans football game against the Falcons of Fort Campbell. And there is 2 U.S. Army bases in Kentucky, both with high schools. Fort Knox, well, the only 2 high schools on U.S. military bases are both here in Kentucky, Fort Knox and Fort Campbell. I've called a game at Fort Knox. This will be my first time at Fort Campbell. Never been to Fort Campbell. I'm going to try to navigate my way there. I don't know how long this process is going to be for me to even get on base. Hopefully it won't be too bad though. Friars Stadium, home of the Fort Campbell Falcons. My first time here. Ended up getting on base. Phone slipping out of my finger. All right, here we go. So we have made it. I've called a game at Fort Knox, and now I'm getting ready to call one at Fort Campbell as well. The only 2 bases on only 2 high school football stadiums, because there's only 2 high schools in the United States of America on military bases. Both are in Kentucky. And now I will have called a game at both stadiums. Fort Campbell's football field. First time on base. Did not realize how nice their field is. A lot of tax dollars being poured into this facility. But you know what? It looks really dang nice. And I don't mind that. Waiting to get into the press box. Figured I'd just go ahead and show Fort Campbell warming up here before the game. We're a little less than an hour and a half from kickoff. They got some pink going, Fort Campbell does. Of course, this will be the last game of October, which represents Breast Cancer Awareness Month to all the ladies out there. Waiting for somebody to open up the press box so we can get inside. That's what I'm waiting for. Got our rosters, we got our notes ready to go for tonight's game. Got our sponsors, don't want to forget them. We're set up and ready to go. Fort Campbell here tonight.
Going to the football games and having fun with his fellow band members. His future plans, and I kid you not, become a Rainbow Six champion and reach Ultra Instinct form. Xavier Hoover.
What a legend.
Cassidy Lawrence.
36-19 at the halftime break. Webster County is on top. Questionable decision to not try to at least heave it to the end zone before the halftime break to put some additional points on the board, but the Trojans are up by a couple of scores. Maybe they feel pretty comfortable with the way things are going right now. We'll keep you updated as the game progresses here. 36-19 though, Trojans here on the road. Good morning, everybody. As we continue the vlog that we left off from late last week, Webster County did win 73-48 in that game. I did not put any closing clips on that. But now we are at City Hall here in downtown Madisonville, getting ready for Monday Morning with the Mayor. So we'll show a couple of clips from today's show. All right, we are in Rob Saint's office, if you can read that. City Administrator here with the City of Madisonville. Rob, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do.
Good morning, Rob Saint, City Administrator here for the City of Madisonville. I am basically over all the operations of the entire city, so I cover all the departments, so day-to-day operations from the morning that we kick off today till we never really close. So the city is always open, dealing with whether it's disaster, whether it's a water break, whether it's an electric line down. We're always working. So it's my job to monitor that, to help with the budgeting process, and just to monitor these departments day by day.
And you also write small like myself. Am I able to turn this around and show what's on this board real quick, just to show?
What Trevor's going to show is just a basic of what's going on.
So this is just the information that he has on here on projects. These are projects either going on or are going to be planned here in the near future, right?
That's right. Plus, there's lots of capital items on there for the entire city. So every department is represented, with the exception of HR on my wall there. So
just to zoom in, there is actual words on that board. It's just not lines here on the camera or cave artwork in here. It has actual words on there. He writes small like myself.
And it's a constant reminder of what's going on in every department throughout this fiscal year. You can already see some check marks of lots of items that have already been completed. Plus, there's also some other items that are ongoing, like, for example, the clarifier out at the wastewater treatment center. So,
let's talk about the brewer development announcement first.
Okay.
And one of the big things that we were able to announce last week was that we have according to the shopping center group, the largest retail development in the Commonwealth for the next 2 years at $30 million. The two anchor stores that have been announced are
Hobby Lobby and Aldi.
Hobby Lobby and Aldi's. And I can't wait for the rest of them to be announced, because I think there's a total of 8 stores that will be announced through there. And we should start hearing about those over the next couple of weeks. And
I can't wait to hear those announced, because that's when we're going to see the extended excitement throughout the rest of the community and the area totally. Because we've seen so much great feedback already with just those 2 stores being announced. We'll just wait till you hear the rest.
it's great to be able to see that type of progress. What do you think?
Yeah, and I think it's important too to realize that's why we do what we do, right? Although you heard Eric and Mike talk from the Brewer Development Group that this has been going on for a couple of years, and I hope folks understand that what we are doing today for recruitment, it's not probably going to come to fruition for a couple of years, right? And so that's why we do what we do. We spend a lot of time and a lot of effort getting our story out there, and we're able to do that because Rob's here taking care of this stuff. But that's exactly why we do what we do, because we want to see that growth. And you said it perfectly during that announcement. And I'll fall on the sword. The first 2 minutes was my fault. I messed the mic up. So Facebook world, you can come at me for that. That was my bad. But I don't know if you said this when the mic was messed up. You talked about how the mom and pop stores, the local stores, the stores that we go, the restaurants and shops that we go to every day, we visit those stores, they're going to benefit from this as well. And I really hope that our community sees that what we're doing supports those local places just as much as it does bringing in the bigger stuff. So it was an exciting week for Madisonville, not just for Madisonville, but for our community. Because our community, our trade area is going to benefit from it as well. And what I'm excited about today is to talk about, while that announcement was huge, everywhere we went this weekend, people were talking about it. I'm excited for the people of Madisonville to know that while that good stuff is going on, all of this is happening too.
Hey, this is good stuff.
This is great stuff, and this is tangential stuff.
This is total progress in the city as well. This is infrastructure, this is parks, this is everything that makes the city operate on a day-to-day basis. This is how we're going to plan and how we're going to move forward, is checking these items off this list throughout this year.
So one of the biggest items, and I'm going to hand it off back to you, Mayor, and you and Ron can kind of dissect this a little bit. One of the biggest items that we hear from a social media standpoint, even out in the public, friends, family, random people at the gas station, right? Well, we're doing all of this stuff. Well, what about the potholes? And what about the paving? And what about my street, which is a huge need across our community? And so, Rob, maybe talk to us a little bit about simultaneously what have we been able to accomplish this year up until almost November when it comes to paving and streets and repairing potholes. What progress have you been able to make with engineering and public works in that regard?
Actually, if you look up at engineering, we had the largest budget that we've had, which was $750,000 that we've used for road paving for this year. So, so far we've put in and replaced about 15 streets throughout the city, which has been much needed. Are we even close to being caught up? No. Guess what? That budget needs to grow even more, but my engineering team has done a great job. We're looking at other options of how we can maximize our money. We can get extended life out of a road. So you're going to see some changes even next year to what we've done. On top of that, we've done over 120 pothole fields for the entire year, besides the 15 roads that we have already paved so far.
And we still have over 900 open jobs in addition to what we were announcing. And so just to address that, know that there are jobs available. So let's get back, Rob, to your board here. I'm looking at it, I'm going a little cross-eyed, so bear with me. You talked about the clarifier earlier. We posted a picture of an update. Man, first of all, that thing's massive.
It is.
What does that mean to the general public? Why is it important that we are able to invest in a capital project like the clarifier at the wastewater treatment center, and how does that set us up for future projects?
Well, actually, it's a total necessity, because as we move forward with the West Knoll Interceptor project, that is the most important piece, because after we upgrade our west side lift station, we're going to increase the flow of sewer to our treatment plant, which puts the clarifier in place. So that's why that is so important.
You know, and we've actually already seen some progress on that West Knoll Interceptor project. They were out last week doing some things, doing some trainings with even our team on what that looks like and the process. And so that project is underway.
It is. So still lots of pipe out on the ground at the YEA. So that's what the West Knoll Interceptor project is in place for. And this is just to help our citywide sewer and our neighboring partners too. So it's going to help future growth for the entire area.
That'll do it for the day's vlog, as we're going to have a bunch of stuff coming up. I know the Veterans Day Parade is coming up here in a couple of weekends. We'll be doing that. I will also be doing some more high school football. First playoff week is this Friday, so I'll be vlogging that a little bit coming up Friday this week as we get ready to turn the page to November. I want to thank you all for joining me. Happy Halloween, and we'll see you back here in the next vlog. Give us a subscription. Come back and say hi. Be good to one another.